Another question that came up was, how do you find more groups to market in that are outside of your current demographic area? So I love this. So I love networking. So before Gracie, I worked in the healthcare realm, and I worked in business development, and I worked a lot with like networking and marketing and doing like contracts for like hospitals and skilled nursing facilities and facilitating relationships. And so like I was really lucky. I had so many relationships with like so many different organizations. So that's like one of my passions is like networking, right? There are so many networking groups out there. And so if you, obviously, like if you're looking for a group online, like a Facebook group or a LinkedIn group, it's pretty easy for you to just like type in different like keywords and see what comes up. You can type in keywords like geographic areas, and that's going to come up. But I highly recommend, it's not to say that you shouldn't network in Facebook groups and online. You definitely should. But I think in-person networking is just so fantastic. So there are tons of networking groups. You just have to kind of do a lot of digging. And so the types of networking, in-person networking that are available are things like the Chamber of Commerce. Every single area, like if you type in your area, like I live on Long Island in New York. If I type in my specific town or associated towns, 20 minutes away from me, that their Chamber of Commerce will come up. And so what's really cool is Chamber of Commerces basically are this entity that comes together, and they're usually like key leaders in your area, politicians, business owners, just a bunch of different people, and they have a board. And so they usually meet every single month in order to meet on like community issues and things that are going on. And they love having new business owners come in and talk on different topics and tell them about like what they can do for their community. So take the opportunity to like reach out to your local Chamber of Commerce and see when you can come in next. It's completely free, which is awesome. And then you're able to like go in there. Just make sure you bring business cards. So invest in business cards if you are going to do in-person marketing like that. Invest in business cards, go, and you can pick like a topic. So you don't have to just like stand up and be like, hey, my name is Katie and these are the services that I offer. Like, no, like talk about like top organizational tips that you can implement into your life, like something that is going to be like engaging and interesting, but also is associated with the types of services that you do. So try and think outside the box. Aside from Chamber of Commerce, I'm sorry if I'm talking so fast. I feel like it has been like one of those days. It's just been like nonstop. And I got a coffee from Dunkin' Donuts and I got a latte, and now I'm like, I got my caffeine in me and I have so much more to do. So anyway, back to network marketing. So, aside from Chamber of Commerce, if you look in your specific like niche industry, there are so many marketing opportunities. So for me, as an example, when I worked in marketing in the healthcare realm, I worked with older adults, so senior population. I worked with Medicare, Medicaid population. And so there were networking groups that were called SUN, S-U-N. And I think I'm not sure if it's national or not. I think it might just be local to New York, to Long Island and upstate New York, but I could be 100% wrong on that. But anyway, it's the Senior Umbrella Network. And so that's just like an example. They were a fantastic organization for me to network with because it was all other businesses from like hospitals, skilled nursing facilities, home care agencies, like the list just went on and on and on, as well as like individual sole entrepreneurs that did like helped with elder care planning and Medicaid planning and, you know, a million different things. So it was an awesome way. They also had speaking opportunities where you were able to plan out a talk and you could go. And so things like that. So you have to do a little digging. My recommendation is to try and narrow things down. So narrow down into like the niche industry that you want to work in, and then you can start doing like keyword searches in Google. Another place that you can find a lot of these networking opportunities and like people to connect to like find networking opportunities are your town. So if you go into your library, if you go into like your local town or county office, a lot of times they'll have like a listing of like upcoming events for your community. And then they'll also have like a listing of all of like the key contact people. So some people that are going to be working, you know, are designated for your town and county that work on planning like events and things like that. So those are great people to like reach out to and network with and be like, hey, like, I was wondering if you could recommend like any, you know, any events or anything I could take part in and help in. So do a little digging, and there's definitely like opportunities for you to find things.